I'm going to tell you my plan, and then I want you to kind of improve it for me.
Okay, go on, inshallah.
With what I have. Is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay, so my plan is to, and hopefully this will benefit the listeners as well, so I'm not being too selfish with it, but my plan is to start with some skipping, like the normal, like what I've normally been doing, and use that as, stretching and skipping, so use that as my warm-up, so doing a bit of stretching, doing a bit of skipping, get my heartbeat going, and normally that's where I would end it, and I'd maybe do that once every other day, because when you do quite a lot of skipping, your legs and your joints can hurt, so that normally would be the end of my workout. But after that workout, I've got a sweat going now, my heart's racing, my muscles feel nice and loose. I'm going to come in the house, and I have a bench behind me that you probably won't be able to see on FaceTime. Actually, do you know what? I'll show it to you. Can you see that bench?
Oh, yeah. Bro, when you said bench, I thought you meant an actual bench. You've got like a bench press.
Nah, I don't. Nah, I don't have that, but I have like this stool kind of bench that's like a nice, like a designed one. And I thought to myself, I can actually utilize that just how I would utilize a bench, a flat bench in the gym. And I never considered that. So
Mashallah.
my plan is to come in from the skipping and then do a push day on some days and a pull day on other days. And so today I'm going to do a pull day, inshallah. But basically, the tables that I'm using to do that I bought for the podcast. When I bought these a few years back, they're 25 kg each. And the reason I bought these specific stools is my priority was weight. And the reason my priority was weight is because to be able to hold a complete arm of a microphone, you have to have quite heavy tables, right? So because they're 25 kg each, I bought these into my office to do this podcast, and I've got 2 of them. So on my pool days, I can curl. I mean, they're quite large, so I'd have to curl one 25 kg stool. But it's very easy to curl in terms of like the shape of it. So I'm curling 25 kg on my biceps. And I can deadlift 2 of them because they've got handles.
Mashallah.
On a pool day. So it's a 50 kg deadlift. It's not the highest, but it's also gonna be beneficial. I reckon. So that's my pool, those kind of things. And then on a push day, I'm thinking to, on the bench press one of these 25 kg stools. Shoulder press with it in my arms, right? Kind of over my head. And tricep dips on the bench as well.
Mashallah.
That's what I've seemed to have constructed. What do you think?
So this is quite like a mix, because you said you're going to do a push and a pull day, right? Hence the why you have like
that's what I'm thinking.
You got the chest, you got shoulders, you're incorporating all of it kind of into one workout. It's good. One of the other things that you can do is I don't know if you have a resistance band.
I don't.
Are you able to get a hold of one?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's a bit.
We might. No, I don't think I do have one.
Well, I was gonna say that a resistance band, you can pretty much do everything with just a resistance band. But since you don't have that, and maybe others won't have it as well, but resistance bands, they're very, very beneficial, because you can literally squat with it. You can put the line under your feet. You can hold it here, and you can go up and down with it. It'll bring resistance to you. You can lay down on the floor, do triceps. You can do chest workouts with it. You can do pretty much anything with resistant bands, they're like very, very handy, and I've got a pair as well. But in terms of what you're doing, inshallah, you can incorporate like press ups in it. I would say different variations of press ups, especially slow ones. If you want to work chest and stuff, because your body weight is probably more than what you're going to be benching. So if you can elevate your feet and try to do press ups like that, that's going to bring a lot more weight to you. If you want, if you want to do it more for like strength and to gain size and that pump, inshallah, that's quite good to do. Also do it very slowly. So when you're doing press ups and you're going down, I would go down 5 seconds and then explosive on the way up. 5 seconds down and then explosive up. And that's to build muscle and to really incorporate all your muscles into it, muscle fibers. It's all about time under tension. So it's not always about the weight. It doesn't have to be like a heavy weight, but the longer your muscle is under tension, the more is going to be the more it's going to be breaking, and the more you're utilizing those muscles. So I would say definitely do it slowly. Okay.
So am I focusing on the squeeze when I get to, let's say for example I'm benching the stool, bringing it down, making sure I kind of feel that squeeze, and then pushing it back up slowly.
Yeah, so like when you're bringing it down, so you're coming like this, and so instead of doing, you know, like normally, like you're going just up and down, yeah, you'd be going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. So when you do this, your muscles under more tension, and that's gonna break down more muscle fibers and help you incorporate more of your muscles into it. So I would say you can do this. You can take this principle and do it with every body part. So with shoulders, with legs, squats, everything you're doing, if you utilize this, because you don't have heavy weights with you right now, then this is going to be a good alternative for you as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. I think that what I'm going to do actually, based on what you were saying, because I've got a lot of time in terms of the days I've got to fill, is instead of doing a push day and a pull day, I'm going to do like back and buys on one day, chest and tries on another day, but I'm going to leave my shoulders as a third day, because that allows my muscles, like for example chest or my biceps, to recover a bit. Whereas if I'm just doing 2 different types of days, I don't think having like one day in between is going to allow me to rest enough. Whereas if I've got 3 different types of days now, then by the time if I do 3 days and then I take a break and then I start that 3-day process again, that allows my muscles to fully recover. What do you recommend with legs?
I think firstly, I think that's a much better idea as well, because your body's going to be in pain, and you might have lactic acid, and you can't do the kind of like the same sort of stuff again and again. As for legs, I would say, by the way, for every body part that you're doing, try to find about 3-4 exercises that you can do. You can definitely find 3-4 exercises for each body part online. If you just search up home leg workout, home shoulders, home this and that, you'll be able to find different exercises. As for legs, I would say do squats. You can still maybe get some sort of weights. So I've even seen online some people using the suitcase bags.
I've seen that.
They put stuff inside suitcases and they're kind of hugging it and then squatting with it. I haven't tried it myself because alhamdulillah I have a barbell and a dumbbell and dumbbells. So you can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do calf jumps, which is basically you're kind of on your toes and you're just jumping up and down like you would be if you were skipping. That's good for your calves. What else can you do? You can do. Do you have any dumbbells, by the way, or any?
I don't have any dumbbells.
Okay. Well, you can grab something that's maybe even about 10 kilos, 15 kilos. Maybe you can grab a what's it called? Oil or something like that. I don't know, like a carton of oil. That's something that's fairly heavy. You can. That's
you stereotyping way too much.
No, but you can.
I don't have. I to your surprise, I actually don't have a big jug of oil. The reason is because I've used it in all of my curries.
No, mashallah. No, even we keep big tubs of oil. We have a big family, alhamdulillah. So it goes too quickly.
One thing that I think that I can definitely do is that suitcase thing, because I have the holder, which will be very easy to hold, and I do have weighty things, especially with all this podcast equipment that I have, like this microphone, for example. The base of it has a lot of weight to it because it has to be able to hold down a mic. So I've got a few things like that. That's actually giving me some really, really good ideas. I'm starting to think that I could really transform my body in this isolation period.
No, bro, you can. You definitely can. It's a good time as well, because if you want to especially shed fat, I think this is the best time to do it. Like this is because you're not focusing more on weight training and stuff like that, because most of it's body weight. So you're keeping and that's the other thing I was going to say, keep your breaks short, because you're not doing heavy weights and stuff. You don't need to have long breaks. So your break should be about 30 seconds. And it should be kind of like you do one, then the other, like maybe 30, 45 seconds max. Even though normally people do that in the gym, But people tend to take longer than that in the gym anyway. People end up taking like 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes, especially if you're doing heavy squats. Then you can't really go back in 45 seconds later.